Switch it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Salty Podcast with myself, Adam Newell, and Monica Garcia from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Former.
Yeah, look at that. Look, you just get into the groove of it.
You used to be.
I'm actually excited about talking with you on
What?
before we came on here, Monica.
I'm getting my notes ready because I have notes, bitch.
Monica shared something really gross with me just now, and I was like, "You nasty thing! Tell everybody what you're about to do."
What? That was you, bitch.
Oh, no, I can't. No, I have a friend who, guys just told me because I don't know. I've been sharing with a lot of you guys these stories on my Instagram. I don't know why every time I work out, I'm sweating these like red bumps and like breaking out and everything. And I have a friend here who she's like big into health, and she showed up today to like check on me, and she's like, "You need to eat a parasite." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And she was like, "It's like eating this live parasite that goes inside of your gut and it eats all of the bad stuff. And then just don't look in the bathroom." I'm like, "This is disgusting, but okay." So Monica and I are eating parasites.
No, I'm not. The fuck? No. I'm not doing that. I have had so many friends though do the parasite cleanse, and it's actually supposed to be like
like one of the best.
Yeah,
well, because it's first of all,
it makes me so sick.
This is
it
so
like pulls you out. My eyes are watering. It like makes me actually so sick. And they're like, "Don't look in the toilet. You will like freak out at what comes out of your body." So
oh my God.
I was telling you, like, don't look in the toilet. You'll like freak out at what comes out of your body.
Well, they say that like live worms come out of your body.
Yeah, dude.
First of all, I don't know, and this is so disgusting. This is not how I anticipated starting Tuesday.
Yeah, literally everyone just turned us off.
No. But I don't know who goes to the bathroom and looks in the toilet anyways. I think that's disgusting. So anyways.
I know, but well, when you're specifically doing that, I could see why you would be like, okay, what's coming out of me, or am I bleeding, or like whatever, but like
Okay, can we talk mom talk?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk mom talk.
Wait, before we get into mom talk, I did ask you guys on Instagram to send us some questions, and a lot of the questions were actually in regards to mom talk because a lot of people want to hear your personal like opinions on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like for example, I have one that says, "Would Monica go on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?"
I don't know, because I don't know what I would bring there. Like everyone's like, "You weren't friends with any of the women on Housewives," but that's not exactly true. I had a very big connection to those women, and I have no connection whatsoever to the women on Mom Talk. Also, they're so young. I mean, there's a 22-year-old on there.
I know they're not. There is a 22-year-old, but there's also 31-year-olds.
Okay. That's still like so I don't know. I would be like the mother.
Yeah,
Maybe I would be like, Patricia on Southern Charm. I would be like the Patricia of Mom Talk, except not as classy at all. But you know what I mean? I would be like the older mom. I don't think I would fit in. They're so young.
I think it's funny that you just brought up Southern Charm too, because I have a question from one of the castmates of Southern Charm asking who our favorite castmates are, or castmate is on Southern Charm. Do you have one?
Our favorite, wait, pause for 1 second.
I'm curious.
Okay. Do I have a favorite castmate on Southern Charm?
A cast member, yeah, on Southern Charm.
I don't know. I mean, I I've spent time with Leva.
Yeah.
And so, knowing her on a personal level, I would have to go with Leva. She's so sweet. She was so kind to me. She gave me so much grace. We bonded over a lot of things. And so just because I know her personally, I would have to say she's been great to me. So
Leva by default.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. But if I had to go off of like not knowing any of them, I loved Craig.
Really? Okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
if you were
I
gonna go
love
with one of the
him.
guys.
Yeah. Well, you want like a favorite girl? Was
No,
I
no,
only
no.
supposed to pick girls?
No, and
Is
I'm
this
not
so
gonna
bad
go
too?
into
Are
this.
you a girl's girl or a
Are you a
guy's
guys? Yes,
girl?
yes. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna. Now it's
So
it
I
was
think Craig is why I would watch. Like I just found him so entertaining. I liked his personality. I love his storylines. I love him and Paige together. Yeah, I think Craig would be my favorite.
which, by the way, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the show was primarily made up. It is Craig, Austin, and Shep's show, and the show
Oh,
was made up around them. So yeah, I
oh,
also I really like Craig, and this
I
one's
love
really
Craig.
hard for me too, with Madison and Leva because love Leva. Leva has been so
Yeah.
sweet and opened up like her restaurants. My birthday was at her restaurant. Um, but also I met Leva through Madison. And Madison
Oh,
convinced me to move to Charleston. So it's I give it to both of them. I give it to both of them,
they're
but
both your favorite.
they're
Yeah, I
both
would say if I'm going on a personal level, for sure, Leva. If I'm going on like just watching on my couch, I love Craig. Yeah.
okay. Okay. And before we go on to mom talk, because
Yes.
I want to get into this shit. I'm just gonna ask you some more of these questions.
I,
If Monica was to do an ultimate girls trip, who are 6 people she would do it with?
okay. I'm definitely taking Chanel from Dubai.
Yes.
Love her. I'm definitely taking Portia Williams because I freaking love her. I'm taking Dorinda. I'm literally, you want to go with us? I'll put you on.
I listen, yeah, I will be the butler.
I'm gonna take Dolores.
Okay. I love
So wait,
Dolores.
how many am I picking?
You're picking 6. You have 4.
Oh, I have 2 more left.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking Jessel and Bryn.
What about Tamra?
See,
That's
see,
shady,
you always
Monica.
leave someone out. You always leave someone out.
That's
Okay,
shady.
I'll substitute Bryn for Tamra.
Oh, that's fucked up. What about Bryn?
I love her, but you just put me on the spot and I forgot. That's like
Okay.
an on the spot question, but I know my for sure's would be like Portia, Chanel, Dolores, Dorinda.
Like
That would
just
actually be like an insane cast.
like some of the nostalgic ones.
Yes. Like
Okay.
the real OGs.
And just to put you on the spot one more time,
Okay.
if you had to pick a regret that you had on the Housewives show,
Hmm.
what would it be?
That's such a good question. My biggest regret on the show. Man, I know what I would honestly say, but I'm not gonna say that one because it it was kind of more so behind the scenes. My biggest regret on the show is probably the Sean of it all, Angie's husband.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, just
That's fair.
taking that where it laid, which was everyone knew about it, but no one talked about it. I should have just left it like that.
Well, that's a great segue into the secret lives of Mormon wives because this shit was insanity. I'm
Okay, well,
almost officially done, but I'm not there yet. So I'm
okay,
happy
that's
that
what
we
I was
can
gonna
start
ask
this
you
off.
is first tell us how far are you into it?
I'm on episode 5.
Oh, you're pretty freaking I'm literally just episode 1.
Yeah. Well, no, this is good though because this makes me excited. Because honestly, and everybody who's been listening to the podcast or watching YouTube, you guys know that since I got here, I've been like kind of sick. So I've been just
Yeah.
like binge watching things. But then, of course, Selling Sunset came out and I had to watch that. So now
Mhm.
I got to The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. But like, I don't know what the hell goes on in Utah or Salt Lake, but you guys are a special breed.
That's
You
so
guys
dumb. No, it's not. The shit is not normal. Like, I don't even know, like, what okay, I have so many feelings, and I'm literally just on one episode.
just like
Like,
okay, you go.
no, it's okay. I wanna address what you're saying because I understand, like, we need to stop putting this on Utah. I think us as a people in general across America are very, very open sexually nowadays. This isn't like, "Oh my god, Utah?" It's like, what? Like, people have all different kinds of partnerships or marriages or wherever where they have an agreement or an open marriage or an understanding or they swing or they allow maybe, their spouse enjoys same-sex relations and they want them to have that too. Like, this isn't just a Utah thing. I think us as a people have evolved to be very open with our sexuality and taking that into our relationships with other people as well. I hate that Utah's getting all the credit because, bitch, please. It's
You know what? That was such a blanket statement, and that was fucked up
yeah.
on my part. And I apologize because I actually, when you said that, I had I had a chiropractor in Florida,
Mhm.
and she was so sweet. She was very, very smart, and she loves her husband. But once a month, her husband, who also likes men, once
Yeah,
a month, he's
yeah.
allowed to go on, Grinder or whatever, and go find a man and get that out of his system. And
Mhm.
she's like, like, I just want him to be who he is. And I remember just like looking like, wait, what? What? Just because
Yeah.
it's like things that I feel like you don't talk about. But then once
Right.
you start getting into it, like my friends in LA, they were like in throuple relationships. I have another friend who
Mhm.
told me she identifies as a unicorn. I was like, I don't know what the hell a unicorn is, but apparently it's like when you're in like four lesbians together or something, but they're all in the same relationship. So yes, there is a lot of
But
different
there's so many,
relationships.
like, sex parties and orgies and swapping and this and that and blah there's literally shows out here nowadays called From Couple to Thruple. Like, let's stop acting like Utah is so advanced and so, like, "Oh,
I've
like,
never
no.
been to a sex party.
They literally even have, like, clubs, like, around the country where you can, like, go in and you can, like, wear masks and you can, like, watch people or
What?
participate or yeah, this is why I'm saying, like, Utah ain't shit.
Well,
Like,
like, I know
please.
that when I lived in LA, Jason and I had a friend who told me that he literally said to me, he's like, "You will never be fulfilled in your relationship with Jason until you have all these experiences because one day you're
Like,
going to."
sexual experiences?
Yeah, and wanted to take me to a warehouse party where everybody's just like having sex with everybody. And I was like,
See?
no, no, thank you. I mean, nothing against you. It's just not my thing.
No,
I'm not
exactly,
like,
like, that's what I'm saying, though. People choose to live their life and,
yeah,
cheers to that, but I just I think it's so funny that Utah is getting this, like, Utah, like, no.
yeah. Okay.
That's
You
how
know
I
what it
feel
is?
about that.
It's because the religion attached to it. I think that's what it is because I think when people think Mormon, they think like that typical, like Jason's mom calls it Molly Mormon, like being
Mhm.
like the perfect Mormon, right?
Yeah.
And when I first met Jason and he told me he was Mormon, mind you, he also told me he was in Cirque du Soleil. I thought that meant he was in the circus, he was a clown. And then he told me his family was Mormon, and I was like, oh shit. And I called my mom and I said, this guy's family, like, like the people that cover their faces and they churn butter and they have no TV and that's what my mom and I thought because we were so uneducated on it. Come to
Yeah,
find out, like, you guys got more money than the rest of the world, the Mormon church.
yeah. Yeah, and I agree with that, like, but that's the thing is it's not like I don't know. I think I'm to the point a little bit where I'm kind of over, like, Mormons getting, like, talked about. I don't know, but I fucking live here and I'm surrounded by it, so it's like, ugh, I don't know.
You're
Like,
like,
I see the appeal, right, in being like, "The secret lives of Mormon" what but, like, show me some real ass Mormon secret lives. I don't feel like we knew who these women were, right? Like, we knew they got on TikTok. We knew they shook their asses. We knew they were controversial. We knew all this stuff. Like, it's what? You know, Taylor gets all the credit in the world for coming out with it and talking about it. I will say that. She brought it to light, but she didn't bring swinging to light. It's not like swinging had never been heard of, but she brought it to light in this group, right?
Right.
But I think acting like, you know, look, I think for me, the problem that I'm having, this is coming from someone that was excommunicated. Okay. So I actually have very strong feelings about this shit because
Okay.
I take it very, very personal because I was ousted, right? When I see women online claiming that they're Mormon, but they don't wear their freaking garments and they are drinking and they are doing whatever, I'm not judging you for it. But to be able to still claim that you're Mormon when you're living that way is like, I don't understand that.
Well,
Like, that to me is, I don't get it. I just don't, I can't wrap my head around it. And I don't care what anyone says. An actual, that is not an active, true member of the church, period, point blank. You are not supposed to be taking off your garments. You are supposed to wear them with everything. You don't get to freaking just wear them on Sunday when you go to church. And then the rest of the week you're online in mini skirts with your ass half out and your boobs out and whatever and your tummy and I'm sorry. That is the facts. The facts are that is not how active members of the church, you're not supposed to take your garments off. It's very simple. Those are sacred. You went through the temple, da 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 da. You're supposed to wear them all the time.
when you clock into the Mormon church, right?
Mhm.
When you come through and you're like, "Hi, I'm Monica. I'm here. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be a part of this." And I'm not
What
making
kind of Monica are you? That's like
I'm just wondering, like, they're like, "Yes, Monica, welcome to the Mormon church. Here is your box of garments. Now please
no,
continue
but that's what
into."
I'm saying. No, you don't just get garments. It's a very sacred covenant you've made when you've gone through the temple, you've taken out your endowments, you've done all those things, and you agree to wear them all the time. It's supposed to be like a protective reminder type of thing, right?
What
There's
if you
all
go
these things.
swimming?
No, okay.
Nope,
You
I'm just
obviously,
wondering.
but that's where it drops. Okay, same with working out. And that's why all the moms are like, oh, I was working out. And it's like, oh, you work out from 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. So you just don't wear your garments. You're in workout clothes all day, every day, because then you don't have to wear them because you're like, oh, I went to the gym. Like, there's
Mm.
all these fine lines with garments. But for me, I don't understand. And I need this to be very clear. This is no shade to any of these women. Like I said, this is my own personal experience from being unwelcome in the church and then seeing how people live. And it's like, what? How are you living? This is going to be very religious sounding, but this is how are you living in sin, but still get to claim you're like an active member of the church? Like Whitney, right? She's claiming she's this active member of the church and I've never drank or whatever, but she's like shaking her ass online. Like, I just,
And you haven't seen her yet, so just to give you a little spoiler, because guys, like I said, our second episode for this week, we're gonna revisit this after we watched all of them. But I saw my first time seeing Whitney, she got this brand deal and it was with a dildo, a vibrator. And she was like, it's a lot of money. It's like $10,000 or $20,000. Should I do it? And her mom was like, absolutely not. She's like, no, I'm gonna do it. But then she's judging the Taylor one for coming out with this whole sex scandal, but then she's promoting a vibrator. And I'm like,
wow. This happens later in the episodes?
yeah, this happens like
Okay.
episode 2, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
So
see, I have my whole neighborhood is so Mormon. Let me tell you right now, none of these women on my streets are out here selling dildos. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Now, this is where you get the whole "I'm Mormon 2.0" bullshit, right? Where
why
it's
did
like
you just Barlow voice me?
because that's what she calls it,
Oh,
Mormon
oh, oh, oh.
2.0, where you like, "I'm Mormon, but I'm gonna like, I'm the kind of Mormon that I'm changing to be." If you are an actual Mormon, no, bitch. That is not how that works.
So
No.
you're saying okay, no, I get what you're saying. Hold on, I wanna take this back for a second.
There's a lot. I'm serious. I have so many feelings about this stuff.
No,
It's like
and
so deep.
so does Jason too.
Oh my
I
god.
get fascinated because I didn't grow up religious. The only church that I ever went to, um, it was this Baptist church, and it was right next to Reba McEntire's house in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. And I walked in, and the Lord was touching everyone, and they were rolling around on the ground, screaming, crying, speaking in
Oh, I
tongues.
remember you telling me this. Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, Dad, because Dad took me out of Florida. I was living in Palm Beach. He brought me to a small town in Tennessee. I'm like, "Where did you just bring me?" And then at
Mhm.
the end of it, we all celebrated by eating catfish, and I'm like, "This is what church is." So it was a different experience, and then
Right.
talking to Jason, you
Yeah.
know, but then for you, when you get and if you don't wanna talk about this, because 'cause I'm sure that there are parts of this that obviously, like, it could be emotionally triggering. When you get excommunicated
Mhm.
from the church, which I gotta ask Jason if he got excommunicated. Did you ask him that?
I've never asked Jason that.
Can you ask somebody that?
I mean,
Or you just shouldn't?
I wouldn't say, like I wouldn't come out and be like, "Have you been excommunicated?" But I would probably say, "Are you still a member of the church?"
Oh,
Or
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
you
the
know what I mean?
delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since when do you care about the delivery? This is great. Okay. So, when this happens, do they send you a letter? Do they invite you in for a meeting?
Yes, and all of the above. Yeah, so when I first had to have a meeting with my bishop, and then I had a meeting with my, like, stake president, and then I had, like, a council where it was me with in a room with, like, my bishop, the first counselor, second counselor, secretary, whatever, and then, they kinda make their decision, and then you get a letter from, like, the first presidency of the church type of stuff.
But the women are held in your experience, the women are held to a different standard than the men in the Mormon church?
I cannot I'm not gonna blanket statement that and speak on everyone because it's such a personal feeling. For me, in my situation, I was absolutely treated differently than the other person involved. The other person involved was, like, put on freaking probation, and I got excommunicated. So,
Okay.
like, for me, it was a different situation. We were not treated the same. But I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
I have heard a lot of stories where the women are treated very differently.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't wanna speak to those. I can only speak to my personal experience. And in my case, it was a very, very, very different process.
All right. Well, and before we get into your notes too, I also noticed something that I thought was so wild that in Salt Lake City and Park City, like over there, these places have made into a business going to just buy a soda because you don't drink alcohol. So you go to like these sip places where it's like, okay, we're gonna put like strawberry sugar cane inside of this soda, and then you get
Yeah, like
together and it's like
fizz
your
and stuff, yeah.
yeah, it's like your rendezvous instead of like, like my friends and I will go out for like prosecco or it's like Taco Tuesday, margaritas, and like
Mhm.
these Mormon girls are, even though they're sneaking flasks in some of the episodes, which you'll see, but like they're going out and they're like, "Oh, I feel naughty today, so I'm gonna have a soda." And I'm like, "Is this for real?"
That's wild. I don't
Mhm.
get that. I don't that
You're
to
not a
me, I don't really see a lot of that, but you have to remember too, I'm not in these super active circles,
yeah,
right? But I don't picture I don't know.
yeah,
I don't picture these women as super active. I feel like any really truly and again, I'm only on episode 1, so maybe I don't apply it to just these women, but I just feel like any active, true, full-blown member of the church is not on TikTok pretending to shave their spouse's pubic hairs and like a dick cut off and a hot dog flying in their face. Fuck that. An active member of the church is not doing that shit. Period.
Okay. Let's get in.
That was Whitney, by the way. That was one of Whitney Levitt's texts. Whitney Levitt. That was one of her TikToks. She was like pretending to like manscape, and like the view was like she was on the bathroom floor, and then it was like something like when you shave your man for the first time or something like that, and then like a hot dog hit her in the face. I'm like, what? Stop doing that! Like, stop it! No. And she's judging Taylor. That's freaking hilarious. See, I haven't gotten that far in yet.
Oh, you're gonna. Everybody hates.
I'm gonna lose my shit. Let me tell you. You have been asking me so many times, have you started it yet? And I'm like, nope. The one reason why I have not started this show is because of Whitney fucking Levitt. I have never liked her. I don't like her. She gives me the ick. Something about her creeps me out. I don't know. I think that she walks around like she's the shit. And I think she thinks she's funnier than she is. Yeah, she's Heather Gay. Shit.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's
what it is.
So getting into your notes, which by the way, they were asking who's going to host the reunion for The Secret Lives of Mormons, and Heather Gay commented underneath it and said, "Me, please pick me. I want to host the reunion."
Forever a pick me girl, that one. Forever a pick me girl.
Well, can you open the binder of notes and let us know what you're feeling?
I've been pretty open about what I'm feeling.
Yeah, you're definitely not holding back.
Okay, so I do want to address a couple things. Like I said, I'm only on episode 1. But I do find it very admirable that Taylor is sticking to Taylor, meaning she's so open. She announces she needs to take a pregnancy test. I think she's very like just with it. She's very much like, here it is. And I relate to that. I personally relate to that. Here's my life. Here's the mess. Here's where I'm at. Fuck it. Take it. Leave it. I don't care. And I can appreciate that in her. The very first scene where I think it was Taylor with, it was a blonde girl. I want to say
Demi.
I don't know them enough yet. But it was like the very first scene, they went to lunch to like catch up. That scene felt it gave me flashbacks of my first ever scene with Angie and Lisa, where it was kind of awkward. You could tell they're trying to get used to being on camera. It was kind of a forced conversation. It didn't feel very genuine yet, but I think that'll come with time. The whole Whitney moving from Hawaii thing, and everyone's like, oh my God, Whitney's moving back. Do you know why? Yeah, we know why. She fucking moved back to film the show. But obviously they can't say that. So that was like annoying. It was like, I wonder why she's moving back. Like she was only gone. Oh my gosh, did you know? Have you heard? Like, yes, all of you have heard that bitch was moving back so her ass could be on camera and fill this fucking show. So yes, that is really why Whitney moved back. I do think that my DMs, I put this on my Instagram, like just wanted to hear people's thoughts on the show. Oh my God, no. If you guys could see my DMs right now, my jaw was to the floor. So there's a lot of stuff about Whitney and her husband that I'm like, I wonder if any of this will come out. I don't want to say it because I want to watch all the episodes before I really, really dive into that.
You're talking about like the grinder and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The grinder of it all.
Okay, we'll keep that one for Friday.
Let me say this. Let's just say I had some men in my DMs confirming with
how the hell do you start off
and screenshots and fucking everything?
How do you start off this podcast episode saying my regret was the Sean of it all? And then you're like, but bitch, I had
because I'm not the one that not dropped it.
Well, that's true.
I did not drop it. I am not the one that outed it. It's all over the freaking internet.
It's all over the internet. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But I literally have so many DMs from men with stuff. So it blew me away. I'm just like, what? Oh my gosh. This is the shit they should have shown. But yeah, I think another thing that really, really stuck out to me and bothered me, quite frankly, was acting like these girls were part of Mom Talk. No, you were not. Like, it was Taylor, and it was Miranda, and it was Camille. And if we're really talking about what started Mom Talk, sure, it could have been Taylor that started it. But what blew it up was those three. It was Camille Monday and Miranda and Taylor. Those are the three. I wish they would have just at least addressed it. Now, I know how this works. Maybe Miranda and Camille didn't give their consent. They didn't want to be talked about. They didn't want their names brought up. You know, there is a whole process that has to happen. So maybe they can't talk about it. But I would have loved for it to have been addressed, right? This is a reality show. Right. And the reality of that show is it started with those three, with their satire joking on Mom Talk about Taylor being the mom, and that's her daughters, and their daughters are her granddaughters, and whatever. And those are the ones that were, quote unquote, really involved in all this Mom Talk drama. So I wish that that would have somehow, it does it? I don't know. Maybe, like I said, I'm only on episode 1. Maybe later in the episodes it comes up. But
I haven't heard this ever.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm not finished yet either.
Okay.
Oh my God. Friday, this is going to be insane. You and I are going to be like, shit.
But everyone that followed any of this drama or that followed Mom Talk at all knows that the center of all of this were those three, not, you know, the other, these other women.
So did you know, was this like a big thing there when, I mean, until this Hulu show, I never even heard about any of this drama?
Oh no, this was a huge thing here. Huge. Wow. I actually made like videos about it when it happened. It was a big, big, big deal. But it didn't involve like Layla or Jen or those other women. It was mainly Taylor, Camille, and Miranda, and some other, you know, no-name type of people involved. So I wish that we could have just kind of addressed that side of it, because that is the reality of it. But
I also learned that soft swinging was a thing. I didn't know soft swinging was a thing. I didn't know you could soft swing as long as there's no penetration.
I mean, I had never heard of soft swinging either until like Taylor very first came out with it.
Right.
Yeah. Because I just feel like that's still like swinging. I don't know. Like if you're doing oral, is that not still like?
That's soft swinging.
That's wild though.
That's
soft. Jason came home and was like, hey, I just sucked this guy's dick. Would you consider that cheating or like soft cheating?
No. No.
Like, for real.
Yeah. I would be like, that's so crazy. I want to know who that is. And I'm going to Lorena Bobbitt both of you.
Like, how is that soft anything if you have someone's dick in your mouth?
No.
That's hard. That's hard all the way. That's not soft swinging to me. But I don't know. We weren't there. We weren't at these parties. Maybe that's not what they did. Maybe it was just kissing. Maybe it was just like petting. Maybe it was like dry humping. I don't know. I wasn't there. So, I mean,
it gets cold in Utah. You got to keep warm.
keep your fur on, right?
Yeah, got to keep your fur on.
Yeah.
Wife. Okay. So we have a lot of TV to watch before Friday because I really want to have a deep dive, like a real where we know all of the dirty details, where we have like fully formed opinions, where we can talk about who needs to go from the show, who we think should stay on the show, who's the biggest asshole,
Do
somebody
you
who's
think people
relatable.
should go after one season?
Well, I heard Whitney's already gone. She said she won't do another season.
Please.
You think?
It's giving my cast refusing to film.
Oh.
It's like, call the bluff.
You know what's funny about you saying this too is like talking about the first scene and saying it's giving my cast. When I was in college with Macy Bookout from Teen Mom, she used to, and I've said this, you guys have heard me say this before, but she used to always tell me that she can't actually watch reality TV anymore the same because she knows, okay, well, that was
Mhm.
staged. Okay, well, I totally see what they did there. Okay,
Mhm.
you can kind of see where they had like a pause and they told them to switch the conversation. You know what I mean? Like you start picking up on things and you're
Yeah,
watching it through a totally different lens, you
yeah,
know? So I could see
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you definitely y and, I try to not comment that kind of stuff, even though 100% you do. You see it, you see how certain things are played, and you're kinda like, I see what they did there." But I think, they're just this is their first time ever doing this, and yeah, it felt very much like my first ever scene with Angie and Lisa for sure, where you're just kind of starting to get into it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is normal.
Yeah. It's part of the process. You got to start somewhere.
100%, 100%, yeah.
And it's just to be fair, it's not normal to have like camera crew A and camera crew B with like 4 or 5 different angles right in your face, and then you're sitting there and you're
Mhm.
like, are you the bitch that's gonna sit there and eat the food on camera? Are you the one that's like prim and proper and you know all of your angles? Like you learn these things because you're like,
That
I
is
did.
so funny you say that because one of the scenes that Lisa Barlow and they never aired it. We went to Plated Dreams, which is a restaurant kind of brunch spot here in Utah, and they had us like order food or whatever. And this was my second day, like my second time filming. And I had the food come and Lisa had her food come and I started to eat and Lisa goes, "Oh no, don't eat that." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "No, don't eat on camera." And like the producer came over and was like, "Don't tell her what to do. If she wants to eat it, like let her eat it." Like, but true. Like you do have some people that are like, I don't really want to eat, on camera because it looks really like gross or whatever. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
you
Mary Cosby didn't care. She's like, give me my McDonald's and put me in the Sprinter van. I don't give a shit.
exactly, exactly.
I see. I feel like I would just be like, nom, 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 nom.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. No, whenever there's food, I'm like, "I'm eating this because I don't know the next time there's gonna be food." And sometimes you film for hours and hours and hours, so it's like, you gotta eat when they have the food.
When you get call times, like for, and I'm sure that this, because I know that it's kind of like you get a schedule, like it's a real job, But like
Mhm.
when you get call times, does it say like filming at Plated Dreams 4 o'clock to 6:15, or is it 4 o'clock till you give them something for that scene because they just got all of the production people and everybody there, and that's costing them money. So you better deliver, and until you deliver, you're sitting your ass in that seat.
No, I feel like uh, for me, I never knew exactly where we were going, and I felt like they did that very strategically. I think that they were like, "We don't want this getting out at all." So half the time it would be like when we're supposed to, within however amount of time. This was with me. It could be different with the other cast members.
What would they just send a car for you?
Yeah, like I would have a car sent for me a lot of the times, or they would give me an address, but it would be like on my way there. So like I couldn't tell my friends, "Oh my God, we're gonna be this place tomorrow at this time. Pull up." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times it was kind of like you find out that a couple hours before, this is
Oh.
where you're gonna go. This is what time. So
But
yeah.
did you have a cap time?
On some of them, but on I mean, you have to understand these are real conversations that are happening. It's not scripted, right? So, like the après ski event, right? With Lisa's the event where everything came out about Sean.
Right.
You don't know when that's gonna happen. You don't know when I'm actually gonna bring it up, or you don't know when if I'm gonna bring it up. You don't know if Lisa and Angie are shoving food in my face. You don't know that's gonna happen. So I don't feel like there's like always like a cap time because you don't know. These are real interactions. These is real tension.
Right.
So you don't know what's gonna be said. You don't know what's gonna be done. So I don't think that they're like, okay, get here at 4 and everyone's leaving at 6. Do your shit in that time. It's
Well,
kind of like,
it's so funny because when I was talking to Sonia Morgan, Sonia was telling me, she's like, "This was at BravoCon. This was in the green room." Did I tell you this?
mhm. No.
She was like, "Oh, my cast sometimes," and she's definitely wasted, which is why I love her. But she goes, "My cast sometimes, it's like sometimes like I don't want to sit there all day, so I would just throw in these one-liners and like take my boobs out and be like, wah, and then they would get the scene, and then I could be like, finally, I can fucking go home and like go find a man to go hook up with or something, and like." She's like talking very erratically about it, but she's like, that's why I do these one liners. And once I do, it's like scenes over. Sonia gets to go back to the townhouse. And I'm like, well, that sounds easy. Like, okay, Sonia.
I
And
mean, she has
Luann's
a
looking at her
lot
like,
more experience than me.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe in her situation, after however many years, she's like, and whatever. But for me, it was all brand new. So yeah.
yeah. Oi, oi. Uh,
The actual good time girl right there.
I mean, listen, Sonia Morgan, which by the way, you know that they just started filming a new Bravo show 2 days ago, right? That Love Hotel. Did you hear about that?
The dating one.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know a lot about it. I just heard that it's like I know Ashley Darby's on it, right?
Ashley Darby, Luann de Lesseps, Giselle Bryant,
Giselle.
um, and Shannon Bedore. So it's gonna be the 4 of them.
Shannon's on it?
Shannon's on it.
Shut up.
Which
Oh my
Jason was laughing because he's like, "How fucking awkward," like, because they're staying at this resort, I believe it's in Mexico, but, like,
why didn't I
Ocean
get asked to do that?
eh, actually, I don't know.
I know why, but
You would be a great ultimate girls trip one too,
no,
but
I know why. It's because I have a boyfriend. I'm already, like, in a relationship, and a very public one, and we got pregnant. So it was like,
mm,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, I'm sure that would do something. That would
Yeah.
change
I'm like,
the
"Date me
yeah.
and my
You're
baby."
like hashtag Mormon lives matter. Secret lives of Mormon wives or whatever it is. I don't know. Oh man. Okay. So what I was gonna say is I thought it was just it was awkward because Jason pointed this out. The simple fact that like the guys are gonna be in the house, they're trying to date Shannon
Mhm.
and these other women, and they can obviously turn on their TV when they're not filming their scenes or whatever and go see that Orange County's playing and like Shannon is hysterically crying talking about getting drunk and driving her car into a house, and now how her ex has a video of her on his Ring camera of her almost running over his daughter.
You don't think that those men already know that?
I honestly, to be
Stop.
fair, I look at it like The Bachelor and Bachelorette. I think these dating shows are all just for what can you get out of it after. I don't really think people
100%.
right, like, you're not going on first of all, you're not trying to date any of these women because you just randomly are like, "Oh, I" like, what would be
We
the
have
purpose?
such a
Because
connection.
yeah, what I mean, we've seen Giselle Bryant on TV completely rip apart, her best friend and say hashtag tax reform, pay your taxes. And like
Mhm.
she can be insane. Shannon Bedore is like, this is my real life, and like screams every 5 seconds on camera. Ashley Darby, Ashley Darby's pretty normal.
She's so normal.
And Luann de Lesseps is very open about like, ooh la la, like I'm
Love
gonna touch a
her.
little bit of you and touch a little bit of you. Like
Okay, but you have to have Luann on there. Stop.
I
That's
honestly
hilarious.
I'm surprised they didn't have Sonia, but Sonia messed up their other show that like sort of Simple Life spinoff with Luann and Sonia, where
Wait,
they
what do you mean? What happened with that?
do you remember that TV show where they went to a small town?
Yeah, I just remember the scene with, like, the little ride-on, like, scooter
Boat
thing.
thing? Scooter? Oh, there
Yeah.
was a lot. But I
I
didn't
didn't
watch it
watch
after,
all of
like,
it.
3
Yeah.
episodes, but apparently she was a nightmare for production because she was so wasted, and it was really
Oh,
hard for them to get the scenes and the shots, and, like, obviously, when they're filming these things, usually they have everybody else behind a wall or in a back room. There's, like, 7, 8 production people. It costs a lot of money to have these people filming these shows.
yeah, for
So
sure.
if they're trying to get it together and film you and you're just shit faced and they can't get the scene, yeah, that now it's like it doesn't matter if you're filming a show and you show up shit faced or if you're like working at Cheesecake Factory, you can't show up shit. It's a job, you
Jeez,
know?
great. I love that
Unless you're just like a I don't really know a job where you can show up shit faced. So no, I don't have an answer.
I mean, I feel like Housewives is probably the only place that you could probably get away with
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
it.
You kind of can't even do that anymore because then you have somebody like Leah McSweeney who's like, they put me in a situation knowing that I'm sober and there's alcohol. And
No,
it's like,
fuck you for saying that, Adam. Fuck you for saying that.
why?
Because Heather Gay was literally on there saying, "Our job is to get her to drink again." So, yeah, no, I'm definitely siding with her on this one. Not the lawsuit, but on Ultimate Girls Trip, they were literally coming for, and by they I mean Heather, motherfucking Gay, was literally coming for her freaking sobriety, and that is not okay.
I'm
Tacky
gonna raise your one single fuck you for that, Adam, and I'm gonna double that and give you a fuck you back, Monica, because if you watch that season, there was also a scene where after this all happened and Heather tried getting Leah Schwasty Pants to have a good time, Leah was sitting there at the table and she was bored when the women were trying to share their stories and have a sisterhood. And she's like, can you guys like drink or get fucked up? Like, you guys are so boring. Like, start drinking. Can we get some drinks? And it's like, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to claim that the network and everybody is doing that to you, but then you're turning
I'm
around
not
trying to
talking
do it
about
to
the
them.
network. I'm talking about Heather Gay.
Well, I'm saying in general, you can't, it's
Wait,
like
so
the
let me
part.
ask you this. You don't think Heather Gay was a complete asshole in that season?
No, listen, I think if you know somebody is on a sober journey and you claim that you read their book, right?
Yes.
And in the book, it details wanting to harm yourself, not wanting to be alive anymore, all
Yeah.
of these things that this substance made you feel and want to do to yourself. And you're a mother, you're a daughter. Yes, that's an absolutely shitty thing to do. It's terrible. You should never do that to anybody because it's like all of us know somebody who has either been to rehab or they deal with an addiction issue and you see them struggle and it's sad. So you wanting to do that for ratings, yes, I mean, yeah, 100%. I agree with you. That's a shitty thing. What I'm
Aren't they the
saying is
ones that stole the bottle too and like hid it?
oh, I forgot. I forgot who stole the bottle.
It was Heather and Whitney, right?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I swear it was.
Oh my God. See, this is too like so I'm going to say this very gently. There are definitely, from my experience dealing with some of your cast members,
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of pre-planning of how they think
Mhm.
to make a good show.
Mhm.
Like in things that they think like but this isn't like it didn't just start just like swinging didn't start in Utah. Like this didn't just start on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake. I mean, Lisa Vanderpump used to sit on the phone with Brandy Glanville all the time before they would film Beverly Hills. This was like over a decade ago. And she'd be
Well,
like,
yeah.
take out the tabloids. It's going to make for a great scene.
Well, also,
Do it.
I mean, everyone's talking about like the pool scene that happened, I guess, with Teddy Mellencamp and Tamra this season. Everyone thought that was staged.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're wearing a nose plug, your mic's off.
I didn't see a nose plug.
Well, that's what thare saying. I didn't see a
Who?
nose plug either.
Who's saying that?
The social media streets. What do you want me to give you receipts, proof, timeline?
The social media streets
Like, I don't
are
know.
saying that there was a nose.
And I just saw this too. Tamara gets herself in so much shit, by the way. And I
Oh,
gotta I
don't
gotta tell this,
start.
No, I gotta try. No, I like Tamara, but now Tamara like feuding with somebody else who I've had on multiple times because
Who?
do you know who Kiki Monique is from Talk of Shame? She does Radio Andy.
Yes! Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes. I love
she's
her.
yeah, she's super talented, like
Love her.
really gorgeous, and she the girl knows how to get into every single Hollywood party there is. I don't know how she does it, but every time I go to like an event or whatever, when I fly into LA, she is
Yeah.
there front row center, and I'm like this isn't even Bravo.
Mhm.
This is like a
No,
movie premiere.
she's
Where?
so great.
Why? How? And
Yeah.
she's just like, how are you here? I'm like, I don't know. But she went on Sheena's Shenanigans podcast and she's like, yeah, Teddy and Tamara were talking about how, like, I guess they thought, like Teddy or Tamara reached out to me and thought that I, said something bad about her and called Alexis Bellino a whore. And I was like, that wasn't me. And she's like, I'm so pissed off at you. I called Andy. And Kiki was like, why are you trying to get me fired? And now all of these bloggers and all of these different
Wait,
sites are
what?
saying,
I'm so confused.
okay,
Tamara called Andy Cohen
Andy Cohen.
about
Here, I'm gonna bring it up for you. I'm gonna play you the clip.
Oh shit.
Because if I play you the clip, then that way you can, as long as it's pumper. Okay, breaking that. I'm gonna play you the clip. That way I don't mess this up because
Okay.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. Because if I say the wrong thing, I'm gonna get my ass handed to me.
Yeah, I don't want you to do that either. And I'm so confused.
Yeah, none of us need that. Da, da, da. Once I find the clip, I'm gonna play the clip. But yeah, it was something to that effect.
But you're saying Tamara called Andy Cohen about Kiki?
About Kiki, yeah.
But
Oh,
she's
here
not
it is.
on Housewives.
I know. No, but she's on Radio Andy. So this is the clip. Here we go.
And Teddy were talking about us on their podcast.
Tamara said, "Oh, I reached out to Kiki Monique." And Teddy was like, "Oh, what about Sheena?" And then Tamara was like, "No, I come out one day, I turn my phone on and I'm seeing these DMs come in from Tamara." And she was like, "Were you just hosting Radio Andy?" I said, no. I said, "I'm at the Tom Girardi trial." I said, like, "Why?" And she goes, "Were you hosting when someone called in and called Alexis a whore and told me and said that I was a piece of shit?" I said, "I'm not hosting. I'm at this trial." And she's like, "I was so mad. I contacted Andy because I'm just," and so I was like, then I was like, "What? Are you trying to get us fired from our jobs?" I'm like, "What is happening?" I said, "It wasn't me," but I said, "In the future, like if I ever piss you off, can you come to me first without trying to get me fired? Because I really need my job."
Tamara and Teddy were talking.
So now people are like freaking out because they're like, wait a minute, you've said things before, so why would you try to get somebody fired? And I believe Tamara said, I did not try to get her fired. So long story short, no matter what, you always get caught in
This
this
is
shit.
triggering for me. You already know.
Yeah. And Monica's got some triggers.
I don't understand this. Like, now I don't know this whole story because I'm just now hearing it for the first time.
Right.
But I'm so sick of people going to Andy Cohen to get people fired.
Yeah.
You know that my cast fucking did that at BravoCon?
Yeah.
They literally went to Andy Cohen to get me fired.
Though, but also,
like, I love Tamara. I love Tamara. I love Kiki. Who knows what really happened here? I don't know. Like, yeah. I don't know why.
This has happened actually on, it's not just your cast. This happened on New York. This happened in Beverly Hills with Brandy. This happened on Dallas with Leanne Locken. I don't know what the balloons are for. What the fuck is happening? I don't like Leanne Locken on Dallas. Miami, it happened with Joanna Krupa. Atlanta, it happened with both Nene and Kim. So yeah, where people will band together. And that's how Phaedra Parks got fired too, because Candy Burris pretty much said, like, it's me or her. And if it's me, I'm taking my entire following and all of the spinoff opportunities and all of the other things that I bring to the network. I'm taking it with me so you can have her if you want to have her. And Phaedra just silently went away. Now the girl's on Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Dancing with the Stars with Anna Delvey. It's like, I don't even know what happened. Phaedra just came back in. She's like, I'm coming in hot.
Yeah. No. So what? Is there like a whole war now between like bloggers and...
I hope not, because can I just tell you, I get so exhausted. I get anxiety fighting with like some of these people sometimes. And I've had conversations with you, like just about different scenarios that I've even had to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not getting paid to fight with your ass. So I don't want to fight with you. If somebody was writing me a paycheck, maybe it would be different. But like, I don't need help having conflict in my life. I have 11 brothers and sisters. 500 different step parents. Like, I have an entire ass husband. He's drama. I'm more drama, but he's drama. And then, like 2 naked pussies, 2 bitches, and 1 little boy. Like, I don't need help with drama.
Did Tamara at least like say like why she called Andy?
I haven't seen that part. I just saw where there was an article that came out that said Tamara addresses it and claps back. But they only said what Kiki and Sheena said in the article, and there was no mention of what Tamara said back. But Tamara's not going to be quiet about it. She's probably waiting for the pot. Tamara's going to come back. The thing is Tamara is one of those people, and this is why she makes incredible reality TV.
Amazing.
You're not going to get her without her getting you back. If she gets she's getting your ass. There's no one side to this. Like, it's like when Candy Burr said, I'm not Michelle Obama. If you go low, I'm going low with you. Like, that is it,
Yeah. I would love to know, like, I haven't heard this, so I would love to know the whole story.
Should I just message her right now and ask her? Or is she going to think that I'm getting involved?
Who? Kiki or Tamara?
No, Tamara.
No, don't message her.
Okay. You always say don't message her. Like when I want to message her, but then it's like I'm trying to reform a bond.
Oh.
Even though there was never a bond. But I'm trying to bond.
I hear you. I just don't think what are you going to say? What would you say?
I'd be like, oh my God, I heard out here in these social media streets that you're trying to get people fired and whatnot.
Okay, see? Yep, exactly. And that's why I said no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, with that, as I told you guys at the very beginning, obviously you guys know this week I haven't been feeling the best, but we still lasted an hour, and sounds like Monica and I have some mom talk homework to do. So
yeah,
this actually, I had a lot of fun for like feeling like shit. I'm like, this is great. I had a good time with you.
Me too. I've had to do it feeling like shit too. And I totally understand. No, this was good.
Yeah. Wait.
Covered. Did you have something else to say?
No. I'll text you. Okay. All right, guys. Well, anywhere you're listening, just make sure you drop a rating. Let us know what you think. The ratings are coming in so good. Also, by the way, the people like the 5-star, it's like Monica. I'm like, what am I, fucking chopped liver over here? Like, I'm talking with Monica too. No, I'm kidding. But and if you guys are listening on the podcast, remember you can go to Up and Adam channel 2 and watch the video version the day after the audio comes out on the podcast. So, Monica, any last parting words?
I feel like we just talked so much. I don't even remember what we said. I think my only last parting word would be I need to finish watching Momtok.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll get to it right now.
Yeah.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.